Hi, my name is Bashi, and today I'm going to go over the best time to buy and sell stock. So in this video, we will discuss the problem statement, discuss the algorithm we will use to solve it, and then code up the solution using C# and Python. Alright, so let's get started. You are given an array called prices, where prices of I is the price of a given stock on the ith day. So what does that mean? It means we're going to be given an array. This array will contain some numbers. I'll just go ahead and write some random numbers. And each number right here represents a day. So this is day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. Okay? So you can see here that on day number 1, the price was 5. On day number 3, the price was 6. On day number 5, the price was 1. You want to maximize your profit by choosing a single day to buy one stock and choosing a different day in the future to sell that stock. So if I buy on day 2, I can only sell it a day in the future. I can't go back. Like I can't buy on day 2 and sell on day 1. We will have to sell a day in the future. Return the maximum profit you can achieve from this transaction. If you cannot achieve any profit, return 0. Let's go ahead and look at the examples. So here, this is our input, right? So for day 1, it was 7, then 2, 3, 4, all 5, all the way to 6. On day 6, it was 4, right? We're outputting 5, right? We're saying that 5 is the maximum money we can make, right? And how do we do that? How do we achieve that? Well, they explain it down here. We buy on day 2. So on day 2, the price was 1, right? So we bought it at 1. And we sold on day 5, right? On day 5, right here, we sold it at 6, right? So 6 minus 1 is a $5 profit, right? We gained $5. And they say that right here. They also say that no, buying on day 2 and selling on day 1 is not allowed because you must buy before you sell, right? So we couldn't buy on day 1 and then, we couldn't buy on day 2 and then go back in time and sell on day 1, right? That's not allowed. Example 2. I'm going to go ahead and write the days right above it. And here, our output was 0. And according to the statement, if we cannot achieve any profit, we return 0. So there's no profit to be made here, right? Well, let's take a look at that. If we buy on day 1, we want to sell at a higher price, right? Is there a number higher than 7 in the future? No. So if we buy on day 2, is there a higher number than 6 in the future? No. If we buy on day 3, is there a higher number than 4 in the future? No. If we buy on day 4, is there a higher number than 3 in the future? No. If we buy on day 5, there's no other days to sell on, right? So that's why they return 0. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this. I'm going to go ahead and erase the background. The algorithm that I will use to solve this problem is a simple one-pass approach. At the beginning, I will initialize 2 variables. I'll call them current lowest price, and I'll set that to positive infinity. So at this point, I haven't seen a low price, so I'm going to set this to the maximum possible so that when we do run into a price, we'll go ahead and update that, right? Because any number that we run into down here, right, in our array will be lower than infinity, right? Positive infinity. Any of these numbers will be lower than this. So right now, I'm just going to set it to the maximum possible. I also need another variable. I'll call this max profit. And I'll set that to 0. Because at this point, I haven't made any profit, right? My profit is still 0. I don't even know if I can make a profit. So let's keep going. By the way, the array name, as we mentioned earlier, is called prices. I'm going to say for each price in prices, right? So for each, I'll say day price in prices. That means we're going to go through every single day and get the price, right? So on day 1, our price is 5, right? I'm going to change this to green real quick. Okay, and I'm going to say, if my day price is lower than my current lowest price, right? Current lowest price is up here. And I'm just going to call it current lowest price, right? I'm just going to say CLP for short. If my day price is lower than my CLP, right? And this is infinity, remember right now it's infinity. So what's my current day price? We're on day 1, my price is 5. Is 5 lower than infinity? Well, yes. If that is true, what do? we update our current lowest price. So our current lowest price now becomes my day price. So my current lowest price that I've seen so far is 5. And I'll go ahead and write that up here. So currently our lowest price that we've seen is 5. It is no longer infinity, right? My profit is still 0 because I haven't sold anything yet, right? I haven't been to the future yet. Now we move on to day 2. So at day 2, the price is $2. So we come here. Is $2 less than my current price? In other words, it's $2 less than 5. And this is true, so we'll go ahead and update current lowest price. So it's no longer 5, now it becomes a 2, and we still haven't made any profit. Now we can only make profit if our number is bigger than our current lowest price. You can see that we updated to 2. So if I ever find a price that is lower than my current lowest price, I want to update my current lowest price, right? Because I want to buy at the lowest. I want to buy the stock when it's at its lowest, okay? Let's move on. Now we go to day 3. So on day 3, the price is 6. Is 6 less than 2? Well, no. Well, what do we do now? Now we check to see how much profit we make, okay? So let's do that. Else, if day price minus current lowest price. Right? So we want to check to see what the difference is. So right now, our day price is 6 and our current lowest price is 2. So 6 minus 2 is 4, right? So we currently have 4. If we sold now, we would make $4, right? If we bought on day 2 and sold on day 3, we would make $4. 6 minus 2, right? We bought at 2 and sold at 6. We would make $4. But we'll have to check and see if that is greater than our max profit. So right now, we'll check to see if that's greater than max profit, right? So is 4 greater than 0? Yes. So our max profit that we can make now is $4. So let's go ahead and update our max profit. Max profit is now equal to, well, what's our max profit? How did we get here? Well, we have to update it to if we sold today, right? How did we get that 4? We have to update it to 4. Well, we got that 4 by saying that our max profit is just day price minus our current lowest price. All right. So our day price for now is 6. Our current lowest is 2. So we would make a $4 profit. Let's update that. So our max profit now would be 4. Okay, let's keep going. Let's move on to day 4. Now our day price is 3. So is 3 less than our current lowest price? Is 3 less than 2? Well, no. So we go to else if. Well, how much money can we make if we sold on this day? Well, on this day, our day price is 3 and our current lowest price is 2. So if we sold on day 4, we would only make $1 profit. Is this bigger than our max profit? Well, no. So we don't do anything. Our max profit is still 4, right? And that's buying on day 2 and selling on day 3. So let's move on to day 5. On day 5, the price is $1. We say, hey, the day price is $1. Is 1 less than our current lowest price? Is 1 less than 2? Well, yes. So let's change our current lowest price to today's price, which is 1, because I will always want to buy my stock when it's lowest, at its lowest. So I'm going to update this to 1. So our current lowest price is $1, right? And that's it. We have gone through all the array, right? We've gone through all the prices. So what do we return? What do they want us to return? Well, they want us to return how much money we can make, right? So the maximum money we can make is $4. So we just say, just return the max profit. So let's go through some other examples. So if I had an array and the numbers were 8, 7, 5, 3, 2, you can see that these are all decrementing, right? These are all getting smaller. So let me erase this. And let's put the days up here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So on day 1, we have 8, right? The price is 8. So we say, hey, is 8 lower than infinity? Well, yes. So this becomes 8. And we move on, right? We go to day 2. So at day 2, we say, is 7 lower than our current lowest price? Is 7 lower than 8? Yes. So we update our current lowest price, right? Max profit is still 0 because we haven't seen a higher number than our current lowest price, right? And you can see that this would just trigger the if statement. So this will just go from 7. This will turn into a 5 on day 3. Will turn into a 3 on day 4. And will turn into a 2 on day 5, right? And we'll return our max profit, which is 0 because it never changed. We never saw a higher number in the future. Let's do another example. Okay. Let's go with 3, 2, 1, 5, 9. Okay, remember this is day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So on day 1, let me erase up here. On day 1, our day price is 3. Is 3 lower than our current lowest price, which is infinity? Is 3 less than infinity? Yes, so let's update that. So this becomes 3. We go on to day 2. On day 2, our day price is 2. We say, hey, is 2 lower than 3? Well, yes, it is. So let's just update that. 2. Let's move on to day 3. On day 3, our current price is 1. Is 1 lower than 2? Well, yes, it is. So let's update that to 1. Remember, if we see a lower price, we want to grab it. We always want to buy when the stock is at its lowest. Okay? Right now, we haven't made any profit, right? Because these are all decrementing. We haven't seen any profit. So let's move on to day 4. At day 4, the price is 5. Is 5 less than 1? Well, no. So we move to else if. Well, is 5 minus 1 greater than our max profit? Is 4 greater than our max profit currently is 0? Is 4 greater than 0? Well, yes. So let's update our max profit to 4, right? And we move on to day 5. Is 9 less than 1? Well, no. So we go to else if. Well, is 9 minus 1, which is 8, greater than our max profit, which is 4? Well, yes. So we'll have to update our max profit. Our max profit is now 8. And we're done. So we'll return our max profit. So the most money we could have made is $8, right? And that's buying on day 1 and selling on day 5. Okay, I'm going to erase this and move on to the code. So I'm going to go ahead and solve this problem using C#. I'm going to go through it and then I'll write the equivalent in Python. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, in the problem solution, they tell us that everything's going to be an integer. So we could just make our current lowest price an integer. So let's do that. Right, and we have to set this to infinity, right? Well, how do we do that in C#? Well, in C#, we could just set it to the maximum integer value possible. And we can do that by saying int dot max value, right? I also need an integer for my max profit, so let's do that. And I'm going to set that equal to 0 because right now I haven't made anything. Now we'll have to loop through every single day price in the array. So let's do that. So for each, remember everything is an int. So int, we'll call it day price, just like we did in the example. Right? We're saying we want to loop through everything in prices, right? Because prices is the name of the array. For every price that I run into, I'm going to call it day price. And I'm going to do something with down here for every single price, right? So what do? Well, we said that if my day price is less than my current lowest price, then I want to update my current lowest price, right? If I found something smaller than my current lowest price, I want to update my current lowest price because I always want to buy at its lowest price. And if I run into a day with the lower price, I want to update that, right? I want to buy it at that day. I always want to buy lowest. I want to buy at its lowest. So I'll go ahead and update that to day price, right? If the price that I ran into today is lower, well then I want to update it. Else what? Well, we would have to check to see how much profit we would make if we sold today. So if we get down here, that means that the day price was bigger than our current lowest price, right? Or equal, but equal doesn't really matter because we wouldn't make a profit anyway. So if my day price is bigger, I can sell on today, right? I can sell today. If my price is bigger, I can sell today. And how much money will I make? Well, I'll make some amount of money, but is it bigger than my max profit, right? If it's bigger than my max profit, I want to go ahead and update my max profit. So let's write that in. Day price minus current lowest price is greater than my max profit. So if I sold today and that's bigger than my max profit, well then I have to update my max profit because I can make more money by selling today, right? But if I sold today and didn't make higher than my max profit, well then my max profit would just stay the same, right? It wouldn't update. And once we get out of the loop, that means we got to the end of the array. We just have to return our max profit. And that's the solution. I'm just going to go ahead and copy it. Come back to LeetCode, paste it in. I'm going to go ahead and run it, make sure we didn't make any errors. All right, we passed the test cases. Let's go ahead and submit it. Okay, you can see that we passed all cases. Let's go ahead and do the same for Python. All right, I'm going to come over here, go to Python, and paste it in. So for infinity for Python, it's just float infinity. So that's set to the current lowest price like we did in C#. For max profit, it's just set to 0. For day price and prices, right, we go through each price. If the price is lower than the current price that we've seen, we update our current price, just like we did in C#. Else, if we sold today, is it bigger than the max profit that I currently have? If it is, we update the max profit, right? At the very end, we return the max profit. So let's go ahead and run it, make sure we didn't make any errors. All right, and let's go ahead and submit. All right, and we pass all cases. And that's my explanation on when to buy and sell stock. If you found the video helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for your time.